It is great to be back in the great state of Alabama, and I bring greetings from the man you voted overwhelmingly to make the 45th President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump. And as the President said here in this great state just a few short days ago, we love Alabama. Thanks to the landslide victory that Alabama gave President Trump last November, we're making America great again. And the President sent me here tonight to say thanks. Thank you to all the good people of Alabama for that victory and for your ongoing support. And the President also sent me here tonight to ask the people of Alabama to send Luther Strange back to the United States Senate. Luther, thank you. Thanks for that kind introduction, for your service, and thank you for standing by President Trump every step of the way. You know, Luther, you've got big shoes to fill, but I can tell that's never really been a serious problem for you. All kidding aside, for 20 years, Alabama was represented by a great American in the United States Senate. A great conservative, a great senator who's now doing a great job as Attorney General of the United States of America, Alabama's own Jeff Sessions, everybody. You know, like Jeff Sessions before him, as the President said last week, Luther Strange has been fighting hard for the people of Alabama and for the people of the United States since his very first day in office. Not that hard work is anything new for Luther. An Eagle Scout since he was 13, a scholarship basketball player at Tulane, a law degree. He was elected Attorney General of this state in 2010. President Trump said it well, Luther isn't like a lot of people. And you know what? I sensed that from the very first time that we met on the day he took his oath of office in the United States Senate. I stood there with Luther and his wonderful wife Melissa and their two sons, Keen and Luke, and their families. I could sense something special about this man. I could sense his faith, his sincerity, his humility, and his dedication to public service. Luther Strange puts Alabama and conservative values first, and he always will. That's why our President asked the people of Alabama to send Luther Strange back to the United States Senate. And I'm here tonight to say, I stand with Luther. I stand with President Donald Trump. And I will always stand for our national anthem. Now, folks, we've all got a right to our opinions. But I don't think it's too much to ask the players in the National Football League to stand for our national anthem. And I know the people of Alabama agree. Because, you know, patriotism is what unites us. It's about respect for the flag, respect for the country. And most importantly, it's about respect for all those who fought and died to defend it. And that's why I'm so glad to be here tonight in the great state of Alabama, one of the most patriotic states in America. And tonight really is about our country. It's about the agenda that Alabama elected President Trump to advance. And let me be clear. We're not here because we're against anybody. I'm here because President Donald Trump and I are for Luther Strange. Folks, I don't have to tell most of you in this room, you already know it. Luther Strange is a real conservative. He's a leader. He's been a real friend to President Trump. And I got to tell you, Big Luther's been making a big difference in Washington, D.C., and he's just getting started. Now, when you look at what President Trump has accomplished, you'll see that Senator Luther Strange has been there every step of the way. With Senator Strange's support, President Trump signed more laws to cut through federal red tape than any president in American history. To get our economy moving again, our president's been unleashing American energy, and with the support of Senator Strange, we've approved the Keystone and Dakota pipelines, we rolled back the Clean Power Plan, and President Donald Trump withdrew the United States of America from the Paris Climate Accord. And whether it's jobs or energy or trade, I promise you, President Donald Trump will always put America first, and so will Senator Luther Strange. President Trump's leadership is making a difference every single day right here in Alabama and all across America. Optimism is literally sweeping across the country for working families and job creators, especially manufacturers. Businesses large and small have created more than 1.2 million new jobs since January 1 of this year. And more Americans are working than ever before in American history. Thanks to President Donald Trump, America's back. Alabama knows that President Trump also has no higher priority than the safety and security of the American people. You know, I have to tell you, as the proud father of a United States Marine, I couldn't be more proud to serve as Vice President to a president who cares so deeply about the men and women of the armed forces of the United States, their families, and our veterans. You know, would everyone who's worn the uniform of the United States mind raising your hand or standing if you're able? Give us one more opportunity to show our appreciation for the service that you've rendered. Thank you for your service. You know, President Trump and Senator Strange have been working together to give our veterans the world-class health care that every veteran earned wearing the uniform of this country. And I got to tell you, when it's all said and done, I think history will record President Donald Trump is going to be the best friend the armed forces of the United States will ever have. With the strong support of Senator Luther Strange, President Trump has already signed the biggest increase in defense spending in more than 10 years. And we're working with the Congress right now to pass what will be the largest investment in military spending since the days of Ronald Reagan. Under President Donald Trump and with the support of both of your great senators here in Alabama, I promise you, we're going to rebuild the military, restore the arsenal of democracy, and we will finally again give our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard the resources and the training they need to accomplish their mission and come home safe. And when it comes to security here at home, our president and this senator have stood without apology with all the men and women who stand on the thin blue line of law enforcement in the United States. You know, there's a lot of law enforcement personnel who are with us here today. Would you all mind just getting on your feet and showing the men and women who wear the uniform of law enforcement just how much we truly appreciate their service? working with these great men and women in law enforcement and with Senator Strange in our nation's capital, President Trump has been keeping his promise to secure our borders, enforce our laws. We've been removing dangerous gang members from our streets at a record pace. Drug dealers and drug dealing gangs are being rounded up. Violent criminals are off our streets. And under President Donald Trump, illegal crossings at our southern border are down by more than 50% since January of this year. It's about prosperity. It's about security. But President Donald Trump has also stood without apology for the God-given liberties enshrined in our Constitution, like the Second Amendment and the sanctity of human life. And with the strong support of Senator Luther Strange, President Donald Trump has appointed principled conservatives to our federal courts at every level. And with Luther Strange's support, President Trump named Neil Gorsuch as the newest justice to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. But Alabama, make no mistake about it, President Trump and our entire team are just getting started. And our president needs Luther Strange back in the United States Senate so we can finish the job. And with unwavering support from your senator, let me tell you what we're going to do next. And we might just start it this week. We're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. You know, every day Obamacare survives is another day this country struggles. We all remember the broken promises of Obamacare. They said if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Not true. They said if you like your health insurance, you could keep your health insurance. Not true. We were told that health insurance costs would go down if Obamacare became law, and that one wasn't true either. We all know the facts now, don't we? Here in Alabama, Obamacare has spiked premiums on the individual market by more than 200%. In fact, Alabama's premium hikes under Obamacare are the highest in the nation. President Obama promised you you'd save up to $2,500 on premiums every year, but here in Alabama, the average annual premium costs nearly $5,000 more today than it did in 2013. And while the costs are skyrocketing, choices are plummeting. Next year, nearly half of the counties in this country will have only one choice of health insurance providers, meaning they'll have essentially no choice at all. Alabama knows the truth. Obamacare has failed, and Obamacare must go. The good news is, as we speak, with the strong support of Senator Luther Strange, the Senate is close to moving forward with legislation that will repeal and replace this failed law. The bill was drafted by a few friends of mine, Senator Lindsey Graham, South Carolina, and Senator Bill Cassidy from Louisiana. President Trump and I truly believe the Graham-Cassidy bill is the right bill at the right time to repeal and replace Obamacare. Graham-Cassidy rolls back the individual and employer mandates so you're no longer forced to buy health insurance or pay a fine to the federal government if you don't. And while protecting Americans with pre-existing conditions, Graham-Cassidy will give states like Alabama unprecedented freedom and flexibility to craft your own health insurance solutions and reform Medicaid here in Alabama for your most vulnerable, to bring better coverage, better care, and better outcomes to the people of Alabama, and you're going to do it the Alabama way. Truth is, Graham-Cassidy will put American health care back on a better path. But it isn't going to be easy to get it passed. We've even got some Republicans in the Senate who refuse to support it. But President Trump and I are undeterred. The American people are hurting. And as President Trump has made clear, inaction is not an option. A vote against Graham-Cassidy is a vote to save Obamacare. The Republican majority in Congress was not elected to save Obamacare. They were elected to repeal and replace it. And it's time for every single one of them to keep their word. rules-based reform. That's the American way to give the American people world-class health care in the 21st century. And once we repeal and replace Obamacare, with the strong leadership of President Trump, we're going to cut taxes across the board for working families, small businesses, and family farms. And I'll make you one more promise tonight. When it comes to reforming immigration and securing our borders, President Trump is going to put American workers first, and President Trump and Big Luther are going to build that wall. You know, I'm here because I know that Senator Luther Strange will be there for our president, because he's already been there. As you heard the president say on Friday night, he stood with us every step of the way. So on President Trump's behalf, I'm here just to ask every Alabama patriot to do all you can to send Luther Strange back to Washington, D.C. Now, I know Election Day is tomorrow, so President Trump and I want you to do at least 3 things before the day is out tomorrow. Number 1, vote early. We need every single one of you to show up, cast your ballot early for Senator Luther Strange. And remember, friends don't let friends vote alone. Grab a friend, grab a family member, get them to the polls, and cast their vote for Luther Strange. You know, turnout is everything in these special elections, so do your part. Number 2, tell somebody about this election and why you're supporting this good man and his family. Reach out to your co-workers, maybe even tonight, to your friends, to your neighbors. Tell them about Luther Strange. Tell them about the kind of man he is. And tell them why you've been working your heart out to make sure Big Luther goes back to Washington, D.C. Go talk to a neighbor across the backyard fence. Say a word to someone outside the grocery store. Start up a conversation. It'll make a difference. And just tell them President Donald Trump needs them to vote for Senator Luther Strange. And finally, after you vote, bring a friend and tell somebody. Maybe one more thing I might encourage you to do, and I know Luther would approve. You know, in these 2 divided times in our nation, if you're of a mind between now and tomorrow, it might be a good time to bow the head and bend the knee. Pray for America. Now, I'm here on behalf of Luther Strange, just like the president was. But on this last one, I just want to encourage you to just pray for our country. Because America matters far beyond our shores. And when you pray in these challenging times, pray with confidence. Because I truly believe those ancient words are as true today as they were so long ago. Words that Americans clung to throughout our history. And my little family still clings to today. That if his people, who are called by his name, will humble themselves and pray, he'll do like he's always done. He'll hear from heaven, and he'll heal this land. This one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So folks, time's a-wasting. It's Election Day tomorrow. President Trump and I are counting on all of you to vote early, to bring a friend, to tell a friend, and do all you can to send this good man back to the United States Senate. And I just know that with your help and energies and your support, with President Donald Trump in the White House and Luther Strange in the Senate, and with God's help, we will make America safe again. We will make America prosperous again. And to borrow a phrase, we will make America great again. Thank you. God bless Alabama, and God bless the United States of America.